All right, thank you all for joining me today. We're here to meet up with each other about the growth plan for the upcoming school year. We're going to go over the best practices checklist that I sent out to you guys, as well as the gap analysis, and we're going to come up with a growth plan to see how can we improve on the areas that we're weak in. And I'm going to first off with the checklist that I sent out to you guys. It was I used it from Todd Whitaker, and it's about teacher input on professional development offerings, the school improvement plan, the school's role in the school-wide, teachers' school role in the school-wide policy, teacher input and development or management of the school budget, and teacher role in the hiring process. I'm going to go over the data that I collected. Now, for the professional development input, teachers said that, there was 93% of the teachers who said that yes, they do have a say in the professional development, whereas there's 7% that say they don't. The 93% that agreed that we do have professional development offered make up the ELA teachers in the math department, whereas the 7% are from the social studies department, as well as the science department and the fine arts. And so we have to come up with a plan to help help the social studies, science, and fine arts departments get professional development throughout the year, like ELA and math. For teacher empowerment, which is dealing with building teacher efficacy or teacher self-efficacy. 90% agree that we have a good teacher empowerment going on, as we have 10% who disagree. So we need to come up with a plan to help improve that. And the 10% that disagreed, most of them said there is a lack in communication and other things that go on. For teacher recruitment, there was 100% said that there is not any teacher inclusion in that. It's all done by administration. And for evaluation, when it comes to evaluating teachers on like the 4.0 rubric that we have to be observed with, 98% said that the teachers have no say in that, and then there's 2% that said the teachers do. And I believe that is one of our teachers who's actually training to become an administrator. So she's involved in the formal observations that we have. Now, we're going to go a little bit further. So could you guys give me some ideas on how do you think we should improve professional development offerings? Well, I'll start with, for the professional development, during my research, I found out that forcing teachers to go to professional development that they don't have a say in is counterproductive, simply because they'll go to professional development, they're not interested in anything that is being said. So what I think that we should do in having the growth plan is allow teachers to search up their professional development, and once they search them up, give them to the administration, and administration gives them the okay or the approval to be able to go. Because again, ELA and math are given the opportunity for professional development throughout the year, whereas science, social studies, and the fine arts are not. So I think allowing those teachers and those subjects to choose their professional development and then go to those professional developments. What do y'all think?
Well,
I
I would agree
agree.
with that, being as if that they have a choice in it, because more often than not, if you feel like you don't really have a choice in anything, you are not really engaged in it. And in order to get engagement and joy and fulfillment, in doing their career and whatnot, I would say having a say so in their professional development would boost morale even better, as well as bringing together a more sense of efficacy, professional development, as you say, and a sense of support.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody? Miss Spry, Miss Steppadino?
I agree. Very well said. I agree.
All right. Steppadino?
I have poor internet, so it's like breaking in and out. So I'm only getting like 50-50 what people are saying. So I know in my case, it would be nice to have a little more on my like fine arts centered PD, but getting to know other people that are in doing the music in all the different schools in the Marion County School District would be nice. I know the PD that I went to this year, though, it was fully centered. I had to go out and find it in order to have it. So
you feel like we should try to find a way to include more fine arts professional development or in-school professional development so that we don't necessarily have to go out of our way to like travel, you know? Like what
right.
Okay. So provide more in school. And to make sure that professional development is being effective, I also feel like we should, for when teachers go to professional developments, I feel that once they come back, they should try to implement something that they gained from the PD and collect data on it. So that way we know if it is working. And if it's working, it's something that we should try to implement throughout the building, since it would be working. I think that would be a good idea. Don't you all think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Always
Or
also implement more things that you learn.
Okay. Miss Fry?
I was just going to say they could share it with their team, even though if it was just ELA that went to the professional development. You know, sometimes at every professional development, there should have some type of area that all contents can incorporate in their classrooms. So share it with their team to see, and then get trial and error. What worked well for you? What didn't work well for you? You know.
I know a lot of stuff that worked in other people's classroom this past year, though, didn't necessarily work in mine. And so implementing it, giving it a shot, but if a teacher has to not use it type deal.
Okay.
Or some cases it worked in my classroom and not other classrooms, like PBIS stuff.
All right. Let's move. We're gonna move on. What do we need to include in the growth plan to help support emerging teachers? I think we should have mentor training.
Yes, definitely mentor training.
We need more mentors.
And I feel as though each new year teacher should be assigned to a mentor during the summer, so they can grow a relationship with one another, and not just, okay, if you have any questions the first week of school, this is the person you're supposed to go to. So I feel as though over the summer, not saying that they have to meet constantly, but um, contact information should be exchanged, so that way they can, if they have any questions or anything, they'll be able to ask their mentor over the summer, and not wait till the school year, not wait until the first the week when teachers come back to school, to say, oh, well, this is going to be your mentor. If you have any questions, ask, so and so.
Okay. So having them meet their mentor during the summer, that way you can build that relationship up prior to starting the school year. That was actually one of the when I was researching, that was actually one of the things that came up. That having the mentor and the mentee build a relationship, so it gives each other, they can support each other, and the mentor can support the new teacher even more. All right. Let's see. What about our building efficacy? Well, I keep saying it, building efficacy, but what about helping teachers to build their own self-efficacy? What do you guys think we need to include for that? Because what I came up with was, give me a, hold on, let me find it. Um, well, I just said that we need to build more on our weakest area, which is the communication and the support. Because
Hmm.
of the lack of communication, it's very difficult for people to feel like they're being supported. Um,
Yeah. I agree also. Communication is key. If you don't have communication, then you're not going to have effective staff. That's just my opinion.
okay. So, what about administration? Just not necessarily meeting with everybody, or having not necessarily staff meetings, but the administration sending out some type of email or feedback. When
Hmm.
they're doing their unannounced observations or just stopping by. How about once they stop by, send a little quick email once they get to the office saying what they thought about that teacher's lesson or something encouraging to.
Something, some type of feedback so you can grow from. So whether you need to improve or something that you're doing well. So just any type of feedback is good.
Mm-hmm. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for our growth plan, excuse me, hold on. Okay, there we go. For our growth plan, when it comes to professional development, we said we'll be able to boost morale by allowing them to choose their professional development. And we said that we need to provide some in-school professional development, and we need to allow the teachers to be able to share with their teams the information that they've gotten. So when it comes to that activity, when it comes to professional development, what kind of timeline do we want to set for it? Do we want to implement it next year, or do we want to try to implement it this year since we are doing it during the summer or talking about it during the summer?
I think it kind of depends on where everyone's mind is. I feel like it should at least be discussed, during this summer, and then maybe if you feel like you should be able to do it this year, then try it. Or if you feel like it's better to just wait until next year in order to do so. Depending on the comfortability of how everyone feels about it, then maybe next year.
All right, so
But at least have it discussed.
that's what we're discussing now. So should we?
Oh well, sorry. Well,
should we start getting? Should we start having teachers look for professional development once the school year starts?
I would say it wouldn't hurt to have teachers, as long as teachers know in a timely manner that, okay, well, you'll be responsible for going to your professional, if you want, professional development. Then if they know in a timely manner, like if they know at the beginning of the year that, okay, well, if I want to go to professional development, then I have to research and I have to find one that's fitting for me. Then I don't think it'll be a problem. I don't think they'll have a problem, incorporating it this year, as long as they know about it and not wait till a month or 2 weeks and say, okay, well, you're going to this professional development, or you need to find a professional development to go to.
Okay. So I think when I contact our administration, I'll let them know that we should start contacting our teachers to go ahead and start sending out emails, let them know to start looking for some professional development. And that way we
Yeah.
can start it up early and they can go ahead and begin. And we can get feedback and collect data on how well it's going to go for the action plan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For our mentor training, because we don't have many mentors. And with the returning staff, when do you think we should start some mentor training for that?
Tomorrow.
Okay. Next, how's next week sound?
I apologize for that.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Yes. Um, and just mentors have a huge role. So I would feel as though if you're going to be a mentor, it's more than just, you're going to have to, mentor. You're not just, making sure that you have everything you need for the school year. You are taking on somebody else. So you have a whole nother responsibility. So you have to have a growth mindset. You have to be positive, and it's going to take some time. And I don't think, and this is just my opinion, I don't think that it's fair to say, okay, you're going to be a mentor, tell someone they're going to be a mentor on August the 12th, and school begins on August the 21st for our district. So I don't think that's going to be fair, because I mean, when you take on a role as a mentor, it's a lot that goes with it. You can't just go and say, okay, Mr. Ford, how are you doing? You have to, if they need help, you have to step up and you have to point them in the right direction. And being a mentor, you got to do some research. So you're taking on their class and your class, and you want to be the best supportive person that they have there. That's the whole purpose of being a mentor. So I feel as though if we let the staff know who's going to be a mentor early on, let them know, then it's a lot easier. Everybody, they won't feel stressed, when school starts.
Okay.
That's just
I
my
agree
opinion.
with that. I agree with that because it takes time to actually develop that supportive relationship.
That's right.
Any let's see. How about okay. The last thing is um formal feedback, like the being observed and the 4.0 rubric. How do we need to start including teachers in that to give them, to provide them with better feedback? Because telling me that, oh, I don't have this being displayed in my classroom, and that's one of my weak areas. Well, what would be constructive feedback to help me fix that problem, besides just telling me this is the problem and not giving me any other feedback other than that? So how do we need to start including our mentors in that, especially with our new teachers? I mean, not mentors, including our teachers in it, especially to help out new year teachers when it comes to the 4.0 rubric. That was a mouthful. Let me simplify it. When it comes to our observations, our formal observations for the state, I think that we need to help our new teachers. I feel as though when it comes to our mentors, we should allow our mentors to observe their class at least once or twice a semester and give them feedbacks to help prepare them for the administrator coming into their classrooms, because it'll give them that, they'll know that they've been improving along the way with the help of their mentor. So allowing mentors to do observations, I think would be beneficial.
Yeah, it's almost like a preliminary observation for administration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I was just trying to, wrap my head around, comprehend everything that you were saying. Yes, that makes sense, and it will help them. It will guide them in the right direction, and then that way they'll get immediate feedback from what they need to work on before they get an actual observation from an administrator. Is that what you're saying, right?
Yes, ma'am.
To help the new teachers? Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and draft up the action plan for us, and I'm gonna email it to you guys, and I'll just email it back to me, and then I'm going to meet with email me your feedback on it, and I'm gonna meet with our administration on Monday so that we can discuss what it is that we need to do about the action plan. thank you all for participating.
Okay, all right.
You're welcome.